All right. Hello. Welcome to Crypto for Beginners. My name is Kelsey, and I just want to start off by saying in no way, shape, or form am I giving you any sort of financial advice or claim to be any type of expert. So I hope you have a pen and a piece of paper ready, and I'm going to give you some tips to help you join the cryptocurrency world. So first of all, what kind of trader do you want to be? Do you want to throw some money at something and just let it sit there for a really long length of time and hope that you gain money over time? Or are you willing to maybe put in a bit more time into this and time into learning, in which case, the more time you put in, the more gains you can get out of it. So the different types of trading are long-term, and that is how I started. I started as a long-term trader. And then you have what they call swing trading, which is anywhere from a week to 3 months of max of holding a stock. And then you have day trading. So I won't be talking about day trading very much, but that is an option. I recommend starting somewhere in between long-term and swing trading. So it also matters of like how much money you have to put into something. Basically, what I tell people is try to lock down your strategy first. So strategies are different for everybody, and it's based upon, again, how much time you have to put into something. The stock market world is really set up to not have to watch it all the time. There's things called stop losses that you can put into place once you own something. So if it drops below a certain or hits a certain number, then it will sell it automatically, so you don't have to watch it. With long term, generally you don't put stop losses in because what goes up must come down. So you're going to put money into something and it could go down, and then in a year it's up really high. So I recommend like watching things, obviously. I'm going to plug a podcast quickly. No matter what kind of trader you want to be, I've been, write this down, listening to a podcast called Swing Trading the Stock Market. And regardless of if you want to do long-term or swing trading or day trading, this guy's got a lot of good information about risk management, how to manage the risk that's involved that comes with volatility of cryptocurrency. He only talks about stocks, but it's very you can the language is the same, so he'll teach you that kind of stuff. One thing I learned from that particular guy is be okay with 10% gains. A lot of people have a problem or emotional connection to their money, which is fair. I recommend starting with like $100 in something. Then if it goes down, you can throw another $100 into it, right? People tend to emotionally sell or panic sell when their stock goes down. You're never going to get the perfect entry price. So try to, before you even get into the stock market or the crypto market, just understand that your emotions are going to run higher when you're dealing with your money. Being okay with 10% gains means like, if I throw $100 at something and it gets to 110, people are like, I only made $10, so I'll let it ride. And then it dips and it goes down to like $80, and they're like, oh, I'm losing $20 now. I should have sold it when it was at $10, and they panic sell it and they lose money. So basically just try to turn your emotions off. That's the best thing you can do when you are dealing with stock market. So risk management is very huge. This guy goes into it. So what can you do to manage your risk? Well, again, stop losses. So learn that terminology. We'll go over that later on, but I just want to get you familiar with the terminology. Only put in what you're willing to lose. So while you're developing your strategy of what kind of trader you want to be, you should have a dollar amount in your head of what amount you want to put in. So say you want to put in only $500. I do not recommend throwing $500 at something. I like to take advantage of buyer cost averaging. So I will throw $100 at something and then watch what it does, and I'll teach you more graphics and patterns and stuff a little bit later on here. But if it goes up, then you can maybe just watch it for a little bit longer. What goes up must come down. So wait for that little bit of a dip and throw another $100 at it, or throw $200 at it. And we'll go over like entry points and stuff later, but basically figure out how much money that you are willing to put into the stock market after you've determined what kind of trader you want to be. I do like the long-term stuff to start out with, because it takes away a lot of the emotions if you're planning on holding something for 3, 6, 9 months. And crypto is about to soar. America just announced Bitcoin or crypto ETFs, so the regular people of the world are not going to have to manage their cryptocurrency. If you get into crypto right now, you have to manage your own crypto. So paper trading accounts are available on multiple platforms. I believe Questrade has a paper trading account. So paper trading means that you get real-time market numbers with fake money. So you can throw in $10,000, throw 5,000 at something, and the market will do what the market is doing, but you're not losing your money. So if you're a little bit nervous, you could definitely, I skipped the paper trading account altogether, jumped into the regular stock market and only put in what I was willing to lose. And, sometimes I lost money and sometimes I gained money. I came out on top. I pulled all of my money out of the stock market currently, because I personally believe that there's a recession coming, but that's my own trading strategy. So let's talk fees. There's so many apps out there to get started on, and a lot of them have fees. Like everybody's on Wealthsimple right now. What do you think of Wealthsimple? Well, I like Wealthsimple for certain things because they offer fractional shares. Like Tesla, for example, it's trading at $1,100 a share. If I bought that on the platform that I'm using with Scotiabank, first of all, I pay $9.99 per buy and per sell. So if it's trading at $1,100, I'm paying $1,109, like $1,110, whatever. But you can buy fractional shares on Wealthsimple. So if you want to put $400 into Tesla, you can. And their fees are a little bit less than something like a bank. But if you don't plan on trading regular stocks and you're looking to get into crypto, Wealthsimple is not my personal favorite. So I use crypto.com for beginners. I really like crypto.com because they have a referral feature. Say I refer you and you spend $100 on something, I'll get $25 worth of CRO. So CRO is the crypto.com currency. All the platforms have their own coin. And let's be clear, you're not buying a coin, essentially you're buying a stock. Okay. So for every person that you sign up, you'll get a $24 stake or $25 stake in their coin. I happened to get 2 referrals quite a long time ago at when the coin was worth like 11 cents or something like that. And now it's worth 90 some cents because everybody's getting into it. So my $75, I think I got 3 referrals, is sitting at like $243 or something like that. So I didn't put any money into that particular currency, and they have a great referral program. So, but I don't like their charts. If you're going to be a swing trader or less, they don't have candlestick charts on crypto.com. So I use Binance as my alternative. I actually have most of my shares of things in Binance, but it's a lot less user friendly. So you can see up to the minute what people are trading. Now, I don't recommend looking at the minute chart for too many things because I'm getting ahead of myself here. We started talking about fees. Anyways, Binance, crypto.com, those are my 2 favorite apps. The fees are a lot less. Binance, it's harder to pull the money out. Crypto.com, they have partnered with Visa, so you actually get a chip debit magnetic swipe card. My internet connection is unstable. Hopefully that's still working. It says it is. Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like what everybody's talking about, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know. So I don't actually recommend you putting your, say you have $500 to put into the stock market. You're not going to get a lot of gains in Bitcoin. If you have a lot of money to throw at crypto, sure, you know, you can do Bitcoin, but there's a lot of other coins right now. Say Bitcoin is at 59,000 US dollars per share. So if you're only throwing $500 in, that coin has to gain like mega gains for you to make money. There is a few coins, and I will give you them. You can write these down, that are $50 or less. They range between $1, $2. There's one that's sitting at around $40 right now. And then one that I really like that's around 80 cents. So if you want to do long-term, this is for the long-term trader, you can swing trade these, but I would recommend just buying them and holding on to them for quite some time. We call it hodling, HODL. It's hold on for dear life. Ethereum, the code is ETH. It is still in the $4,200 mark. So again, you're not going to get as much gains for your dollar. Another coin that is projected to do well is XRP. It stands for Ripple. It's sitting at around the $1.08 mark right now. It has already been over $2, so you are buying it at a discount. ADA is the code. It stands for Cardano. I believe it's trading around the, I don't even remember, $1.80, $1.90, something like that at the making of this video. Then we've got Matic. That stands for Polygon, but the code is MATIC. That one's going to do well. And DOT. DOT is the second most expensive of the five. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's trading around $40 right now, and it's already seen the $55 range. So I have all those coins. I hold on to them. I don't plan on even fractional selling them for profits. Those are the main coins that most people get into when they get into crypto. So you will see a rise in those over the course of the next year. Okay. All right, let's talk hype coins quickly. So hype coins are things like Dodge, Doggy, Doge, whatever you want to call it, the little dog coin that Elon Musk pushes all the time. And Shiba Inu now is a spinoff. So their codes are DOGE and SHIB. They probably will do well-ish if you're looking for like maybe a swing trade or a day trade. Doge is trading around the 24-cent mark. And SHIB hasn't even reached a penny yet. So I own like 1.4 million shares of SHIB at like $100, something like that. So it's good to, like, you know, if you only have $50 to throw into something, SHIB might be, SHIB might be something that you can just, you know, it's a bigger risk for sure. It's more risk than those five previous coins I just gave you. A lot of people really love Elon Musk and really love and follow everything that he does. I am a big fan of risk management. So if you don't have money to lose and you're really looking to make gains and have safety in the crypto world, I would stay away from people who have too much influence like Elon Musk. And the news, especially, by the time things hit the news, it's often too late. If something jumps up 30%, boom, it's in the news, and then people get into it. So boom, it jumps up another 30%, but then it drops because the people that have been in that coin for a year have been waiting for this kind of hype, waiting for this kind of gains, and they sell all their stocks and the stocks come crashing down. And then all of a sudden you're stuck in a coin that you paid too much for, and now you have to wait for it to come back up. Happens all the time. It's happened to me. I personally don't like the news, but for sure you can use it to make a watch list. Just because you see something doesn't mean you have to purchase it. My watch list is a mile long. It's filled with coins that I have never purchased, and some coins that I've sold at a good price and I'm waiting for a good entry point to get back into. You know, get rid of the FOMO mentality. You're not missing out. You haven't missed out. You are getting in at a good time. I was going to talk about something else, but I think I will skip over that. So when you first get into this, a large part of it is research. Okay. So a lot of day traders and swing traders really push what we call indicators, where like learning about volume and earnings reports and things like that. If you're going to long-term hold something, those things do not matter, honestly. If you think that Bitcoin's going to hit, I'm just using Bitcoin as an example because it's probably going to hit $100,000 by January or February of next year. It hit an all-time high twice already, 3 times this year, I think, twice for sure, once in the last week or so. And then boom, came right back down to my entry point. What goes up must come down. So I don't trade based on earnings reports or news or hype or any of that. What I do is I utilize Google. I know it sounds funny, but say let's pick, what should we pick? Let's pick WAXP, WAXP. This coin I found at like 24 cents and it hit 90 cents. If I'm going to research what I think it's going to do, if I should get out of it or if I should stay in it, what I'll do is I'll go to Google and I'll type in WAXP price prediction. You can do this with any coin. And it takes 3 swipes through Google. So at first, I'm just looking at the main headlines. Never look at the top, the ones that say ad. On Google, there will always be advertisements for different companies that are paying, like the Motley Fool. I try to stay away from the Motley Fool. Tip Ranks usually has good price predictions, but never put all of your eggs on one website. So I type in WAXP price prediction, and I just first scroll through the first page of Google and read the first sentence of all the websites, because all the analyst price predictions are going to be different. Okay. Some companies or web pages really just want risk management. So they'll give you the lowest high. And then some are like, yeah, this is going to do really well. So they'll give you the highest high. So you're going to get a ton of different price predictions. The more common numbers you find as you're scrolling through the first page, the more solid that coin, the more likely that coin probably is to hit that price prediction. So if you have, 17 different analysts saying that this is going to hit $3, it's probably going to hit $3. But if you go on there and it says, this is going to hit 17 cents, this is going to hit $3, this is going to hit $10, this is going to hit $5, and you're getting a different answer every time while you're searching, then it's going to be a volatile coin. They actually don't know what's happening with it, etc. So I do one pass on Google with the price prediction, try to figure out if it's, if they're moderately on the same page or if they're not on the same page at all. And then I start clicking and I start reading, and I will look at how many analysts. It'll say, we have 34 analysts that we've taken these averages from. We have 5 analysts. We have 17 analysts, right? And get the averages that way. And you can do that with any coin. And then you want to look at news, right? Like a little bit. Who makes the coin? Wax is actually an Ethereum based coin. So they are more likely to do better than some of these other 70-cent coins because they're backed by Ethereum, which is a strong coin. That's why I like Wax so much. So really play around with Google and don't just look at one web page. It took me a really long time to kind of learn that. One story I want to tell you. So there's a lot of places that are going to try and get you to pay for their services. Okay. They're going to get you to try to do a monthly fee so that they can send you their newsletter or send you the coins that they're watching, because everybody wants to not manage their own investments. And it is, just something that people are afraid of. The more you know and the more education you have, the more likely you are to be able to manage your own investments, right? So I'm going to tell you a little story about my experience with a newsletter. So I signed up for a newsletter. I didn't pay any money, but you can enter in your email and they send you their newsletter. I can't remember which newsletter it was, but it was like, I think it was like a Warren Buffett newsletter. He's like a big tycoon, right? And basically I get an email and it says, this company is projected to grow 1000%. Buy our package for $99 and we'll tell you what company it is. Watch this video. And this is, he's a stock market guy. It wasn't a crypto email. It was the back when I was just doing stock market. That's where I started. And so I had this video, and it was a 45-minute video on blockchain technology. So crypto is all blockchain technology. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole understanding crypto and what it is and how it has value. It basically has value because people put money into it and it's decentralized. A lot of people want, that's a whole nother video. So anyways, I get this video and it's explaining blockchain technology to me, and this particular company that got a hold of this technology, and they named the technology, and they're holding on to the name of the company because they want you to pay for them telling you what company this is. And it was a 45-minute video. They gave way too much information to somebody like me who researches the internet. And when I was taking notes, and when it was done, I went on Google and I Googled this technology. I Googled the information that they gave me about the CEO, and I figured out that the company's name was Canan. The code is CAN on the regular market. And it didn't look that good, but I think the entry price I got in at was like $4. And at one point it had dropped down to $2. So I threw $150 at it. This was back when I was just learning. And I gave the video, I sent the email to my buddy who's a finance guru. He's been investing tens of thousands of dollars in the stock market for years. And I said, watch this video and see what company you come up with. I want to see if you come up with the same company as me. I didn't tell him what it was. Sure enough, he came up with the same company I did. And he ended up throwing $10,000 in this company down at $2. Well, lo and behold, all of a sudden, boom, it hits $8. Well, I only put $150 in. So at this point, I've doubled my money, but I was like, I only put $150 in. I'm going to let it ride. He sold, I think he made $10,000 off of it. And I let mine ride, and it hit $14. And then it hit $16. And at this point, I phoned my auntie and uncle, and my uncle told me to sell it. He's like, anytime you're up more than 10%, sell it. I was up like 90%. It was stupid. Well, by the end, I was up 90%. And then my auntie was like, you know what? If I only had $150 in something, I think I might just let it ride, especially if it was like, jump from 8 to 14 to 18 to finally $24. And I had 50 shares. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell 10 shares. This is all US dollars. So I made $240 minus my $10. It cost me $10 to buy on the app that I use and $10 to sell. And then it hit $28. So I sold another 10 shares. It hit 34, sold another 10. It hit 36, sold another 10, till it got to like, I had 10 shares left, and it started dropping, and it started dropping, and it started dropping. But I had made at this point like $750. So I bought more. I was like, maybe this will keep going up. Emotional buy, thinking I have FOMO. What if this goes up and I only have 10 shares left? Well, this is where buyer cost averaging comes in, because I had purchased 10 shares left at $4, and I purchased another, however many it was, at $20. That averaged out my cost to still around the $14 mark. So when it dropped again down to 18, I sold it all, still made some money, got out of it, was up like $1,000 off $150. And that doesn't happen often. So on one hand, my point is, if you're paying monthly for some of these newsletters, often they do have insider information about what to get into, and you can make good gains. But also, if you hone and perfect your internet researching skills, you can get away with learning about them without having to pay monthly fees for things. So what else do I want to talk about? Patterns. I want you to, in your spare time, when you have some time, the first thing I did was learned patterns. You want to see a nice uptrend in the day chart before you purchase something. You do not want to see a downtrend and then you buy, because a company really can crash and lose all of its money. So if it's a good solid company, like I bought Apple on a dip during COVID, and I made, 75 bucks. I didn't throw very much money into it, but I made 20%. Often the companies that you think are going to do really well don't. And the companies that you have no idea who they are the ones that do really well. So honing and perfecting your researching skills will help you. So patterns. I'm just learning now about triangle patterns. I was using cup and handle patterns. There's a ton of different patterns out there. I like to just see, a solid uptrend in something before I buy something, and I try to find something that's not, $1,000 a share, depending on how much money you want to put into it. So emotions, let's talk emotions quick. Emotions are going to destroy your strategy. When you pick a strategy on a coin, you should know what your strategy is going to be before you even get into something. Big stocks and coins will always rise and fall together. Stocks that are small that nobody cares about will stay steady better through dips. So example, that was a lot, I know. Big stocks and coins will always rise and fall together. So things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, people who are in this crypto market are in those 5 first coins that I gave you. Everybody holds on to them forever. So when there's a sell-off, often they all sell 50% of what they own to make their profits. I'm a big fan of taking profits off of the table as it's rising. A lot of people only purchase 500 at a time, and when they sell 100% of their stock. I'm a firm believer in that will help you risk manage your money, selling 25 or 50% of your gains and letting the rest of those gains ride out. I just sold a crypto way too early, and it was good gains. I'm okay with my gains, but it's up 20 bucks a share now. So I'm okay with it, but it happens. If you leave a little bit right into it, then you can squeeze those little bit of gains out, but you also run the risk of it going down too. So back to small stocks. So I have a small stock that is very little, that doesn't have a lot of hype. So when the market crashed, it was one of the ones that held and stayed up. So diversity basically is what I'm saying. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try to find different coins. If you only have 500 bucks to put in, then find 5 little coins that you can throw $100 at, because if one of them crashes, you won't lose your money. But again, crypto is really big. So if you're going to hold on to anything through the new year, you're going to be fine. And I'm totally okay with helping you learn how to pick exit points. That will, when you start looking into patterns, Google like stock market patterns or crypto patterns, and it'll show you literally patterns. So you have to become familiar with reading graphs. That's just the way it is. That's why I like Binance better for reading graphs, because you can go right down to the minute chart, and that is how you choose your entry point. When you're looking for which kind of stock to get into, you look at the pattern from an hour or a day chart, sorry, a 12-hour chart, maybe even an 8-hour chart. Some people that are really good at reading can go down to the 4-hour chart. I don't. And then once you've picked the coin and the pattern looks good and steady, and you've, drawn your triangle, which you will learn, don't get sad, like stay with me. Then you go to the minute chart or the 5-minute chart, and you can pick a way better entry point. The stock looked like it's going up for the day, great, but you might go down to that 15-minute chart and it's actually down for the 15 minutes. So that might be a good entry point. If you go down on the 15 minutes and it's still rising, you might buy in too high. So check your emotions at the door when you open that app. The highs are really high and the lows are really low. And when you buy too high, don't freak out. This is why I recommend only putting a percentage of your initial investment in, because there is a good chance that, you're going to buy too high and the stock is going to dip. Well, then you've just averaged your buyer cost averaging out a little bit better, and you can throw another $100 in it. If it keeps going down, throw another $100 in. If it goes down one more time, put the remainder of your money in. And eventually it will come back up and you will have tripled your money because you didn't put it all in at one price. Make sense? You can't lose until you sell, right? People buy things and they go down and they're like, oh, I just lost $100. But did you though? You can't lose if you don't sell. So figure out how much money you want to put into it and utilize buyer cost averaging. And inevitably it will dip. That was pretty much all of my notes. The only other thing that I'm going heavy on crypto for is because I do really think that we're going to enter some type of economy crash or recession. And if we don't, I think the Canadian dollar still is going to go down, and your investments that you have in the bank will lose value based on if you travel or not. If you're planning on staying in Canada, fine, a dollar's a dollar, but I plan on traveling and using US funds. And if the Canadian dollar goes down when I go to buy US funds, it will be like losing money. So diversify, make sure that you don't have all of your eggs in one basket, and have fun. Use Google. Don't look at one website, look at multiple. Create your watch lists, stay off of hype if you want to manage risk. I personally stay away from Elon Musk, but that's just me. Some people do well off of him. Sometimes you get lucky. In the end, stock market is gambling. It's a form of gambling. So whatever you can do to manage your risk is going to help you become successful in the future. And that's just the very basics. I could go on and on and on, but I know my Zoom is going to cut me off in 40 minutes and I want to take questions from my guests. So I'm going to end this so I can upload, and we'll see you next time.